The 5th episode of The Mandalorian 2nd season revealed that Baby Yoda is really Baby Grogu, and introduced in live action one of Star Wars' most fearsome Jedi warriors. The episode also featured some fun Easter eggs for fans to find. Here are a few you may have missed. Shortly after the impressive live-action debut of Ahsoka Tano, Chapter 13 jumps to Mando and Grogu arriving on Corvus to meet with the Togruta Force user about potentially teaching the little one. They promptly land and make their way to a nearby settlement, where they are welcomed by barren, grungy streets with sparse inhabitants. Among them is an 8D series smelter droid, first introduced in the original Star Wars trilogy. The most notable of this run of droid went by the moniker 8D8, and appeared on the big screen for the first and only time in Return of the Jedi. It didn't hold the spotlight for very long, as its biggest claim to fame is being the one responsible for torturing a gonk droid at Jabba's palace. Over the years, however, this brand of droid has become a frequent background presence across other forms of Star Wars media, including the animated series The Clone Wars and the Galaxy's Edge novels. Mando is barely in town 5 minutes before the magistrate summons him to speak with her. She gets right to the point, offering Mando a spear made out of pure Beskar if he kills Ahsoka. While he doesn't necessarily accept the job formally, he does secure from his wannabe employer a set of coordinates to find the Jedi. He and his foundling set off into the mangled wilderness, but little do they know something is watching them. High above their heads, resting on a tree branch, sits an owl-like creature known as a convor. Rebels and Clone Wars fans surely recognize the significance of these birds, as they're prevalent throughout Ahsoka's journey in the Star Wars canon and represent the purity of the light side of the Force. Dave Filoni, who wrote and directed Chapter 13, has gone on record saying that these creatures are also observers and protectors, and the one present in The Mandalorian just before Ahsoka arrives to defend herself against Mando fits that description perfectly. Ahsoka and Mando eventually come to an agreement that benefits them both. If he helps her displace the magistrate and free her settlement, she'll take Grogu under her wing and hone his Force powers. According to Mando, the magistrate is always flanked by 2 HK-87 assassin droids, which fans of the Star Wars The Old Republic MMO will surely recognize as bad news. Hunter-killer droids first arrived via the 2003 Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic video game, and were characterized as highly efficient assassins known and feared for their stealth. Various models took center stage depending on the story, the most notable being Darth Revan's personally constructed HK-47. Others appeared all over Old Republic-era media until it was stricken from the universe back in 2012, following Disney's purchase of the Star Wars IP. Their unsuccessful attempt to stop Mando and Ahsoka also marks their first live-action appearance in the franchise. Once the Jedi and the Mandalorian make it back to the village, they get started right away and infiltrate its thick walls. And in true Star Wars fashion, a massive firefight ensues from there. Severely outnumbered, Ahsoka has no choice but to utilize a stealth approach to take down her enemies. At one point in the fight, she begins traversing the back alleys in an effort to box her opponents in, leading them to carefully sweep the area and apparently frustrating the local Tooka population. This lovable yet dangerous feline has become a staple of Star Wars media over the past few years, dating back to their earliest appearances on the Clone Wars. The most well-known subspecies of Tooka is the Lothcat, a frequent face in Rebels and a handful of Dr. Aphra comics, as well as in other various books and shows.
Well, we've been out here for hours, and all I've seen are these stinking Lothcats.
Additionally, this isn't their debut on The Mandalorian either, as one variety of Tooka popped up in the Season 1 episode Sanctuary, scaring Grogu. Unsurprisingly, the magistrate can't hold her own for very long against Ahsoka Tano, and ultimately loses their duel. The Jedi knocks the spear from her opponent's hands, holding a lightsaber up to her neck as a form of intimidation, hoping to get the information out of her that she desires. She demands her foe to reveal the location of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Non-Rebels viewers might be a bit lost here, but for those who spent plenty of time with the Ghost crew right up until the series finale, this is exactly the question they've waited years to find out the answer to. A holdover from the non-canon Star Wars Expanded Universe, Grand Admiral Thrawn bursts on the Rebels scene at the beginning of Season 3. During the liberation of Lothal at the end of Season 4, Thrawn and Ezra Bridger were shot into hyperspace by a group of Purrgil, and haven't appeared in any Star Wars media since. Ahsoka and Sabine Wren set out to find them shortly after, but as evidenced by The Mandalorian's reveal, the search goes on. At the end of Chapter 13, Ahsoka doesn't necessarily hold up her end of the deal, once again refusing to train Grogu. But she does give Mando a push in the right direction. Just before he and his foundling board the Razor Crest for their next adventure, she advises that they set out for the planet Tython, where the ruins of an ancient Jedi temple reside. There, Grogu can sit on a seeing stone and decide between letting his Force abilities go or continuing his long dormant training. He might even be able to connect with one of the few Jedi left roaming the stars. Tython is fairly new to the Star Wars universe, but its importance to the overall history of the galaxy is immense. Located in the deep core and shrouded in mystery, Tython is one of the planets considered the birthplace of the Jedi religion. It has yet to appear on the big or small screen, but served as a central plot point in the 40th issue of the Dr. Aphra comics and got a passing mention in the High Republic #1 comic. It's entirely likely that fans will have the chance to learn more about this legendary locale and its backstory as The Mandalorian's killer second season marches on. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about The Mandalorian are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.